Let us know if you got us.
Are you a business owner or someone looking for more ways and avenues to advertise and promote? Look no further. Contact us today for an advertisement. Email PD&J Media Productions LLC at gmail.com for more info. Promotions are everything. What are you waiting for?
What's good, folks? What's good? Those that were tuning in with us before, when you tune back in, let us know if you can hear us or not.
I believe the audio is fixed now. We had to go out. We had a couple of difficulties. Apparently, the computer was still on vacation. We didn't tell it we was back. So apparently now it's caught up. So let us know if you can hear what we hear when we hear what we hear. Are you here?
Are you here?
I'm here. Are you here?
I'm here.
I think we all here. We in the building. Unlike Errol Spence on Saturday night, he wasn't in the building, but I ain't gonna go there right now.
Not right now.
Not right now?
Not right now.
Okay, not right now. I'll have to hold off.
So, folks, how was your weekend?
Weekend was great, man. Weekend was great. So let's, the week actually. Talking about the weekend, the week. We went to visit family in a whole other state that I've never been to.
Tell me, how was that?
Man, it was wonderful. I just found out they have the most difficult cities to pronounce.
What do you mean?
Well, they have this one city called Wash Your Sister.
Like
that's what I call it.
Like Worcester?
Yeah, Wash Your Sister. That's it. That one. You got a bunch of street names. So come to find out, it was actually all Indian land. Well, obviously, everything was Indian land, but they kept a lot of the names in the Indian streets. I see y'all coming back in. So it was pretty interesting. It was a lot of stuff going on.
In our comment section, please let us know if you guys can hear us or not.
Might have to push through this one. Hey, that was good. Mike, how about them Bears? I got one thing to say to you, man. They're picking Fields as the favorite to win MVP. And I'm with that. Because remember, I'm with that. Because guess who also won MVP in like the third season?
Your boy.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
So, I give it to you, Mike. Oh, you're trying to say, but now you're trying to suck it up to me, Mike. You're trying to suck it up to me now, right? I got you. You got a chance to make the playoffs. I can't see anybody else winning your division. All right, we're gonna stay with that. Truly, what's up, man? I got a little tidbit for you too, man. I was showing Jay here. I didn't show him yet, but my wife and I came across some free.
He told me. So get this. I got to tell this story. So for our new viewers that was tuning in right now, we did a episode in regards to gold and silver, the aspects of owning your gold and silver.
I got to do a shout out to my first-time follower. My sister-in-law is actually watching right now on Facebook. Rachel, what's up?
Salute. Salute, Rachel. Thank you for tuning in. So we had an episode about gold and silver, how to invest into the physical metals and be able to own your own precious metals such as gold, silver, diamonds, so on and so forth. This man called me. Go ahead.
So we went to this place. If you have never been, it's called the Bar Cross in Massachusetts. It's one of those things that I don't care if you're not spiritual. It's an awe. It's a man that on his farm he built this thing. I should put the link in. I'll send you the link so we can put it on the site. And It's a link. It's on Google Earth. You have to see what it says. It's an amazing place to visit. He painted all by hand, the 10 Commandments on a giant cross. And then also he etched in stone different sayings in that. Well, my wife and I and our family, well, my family too, we're married, right? My family too, we're walking around and they have this well in the middle. So we're all splashing each other, but there's just something shining on the ground. And I didn't know exactly what it was. So we keep walking up closer and I keep walking up closer and I'm like, That looks like it's a coin. It's a giant coin, it's about this big. So I go and I look and I picked it up and it says 0.995% silver.
0.999.
0.9995% silver. And I'm like, this is an ounce of silver. Now, here's the thing you got to think, folks. This place that we went to is very popular. It's not like nobody goes there. You know what I'm saying? Nobody goes there and it's in the middle of nowhere. People visit this place. Very spiritual people visit this place.
Well, let's break it down on what that actually means to you. For those that don't know exactly what the spot price of a a silver coin, 1 ounce of silver right now is about $30. So that one coin that he found literally put about $30 in his pocket. Now you guys can say, oh, that's not a lot of money.
In this day and age,
that's a start to something.
That's a quarter of a tank for some vehicles.
Anyway, folks, let's get right into the show here. What we want to jump right into.
Slappy meal.
A slappy meal? Oh my God.
It ain't a happy meal, it's a slappy meal.
Let's get right into the show. Let's talk about Fight Week. And I do mean Fight Week. There was a lot of different
It's a lobster roll. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just trying to give you an idea how much $30 is. I mean, $30 is $30. That's a good size bottle of bourbon or whiskey or whatever too, but I'm not gonna go there. Trust me, we holding it. True puts up, hold the coin. Like, man, that thing ain't going nowhere. We put that bad boy up and we ain't done.
Now tell them the crazy part about that. Like, the crazy part about this story is that his wife was actually thinking about investing in the gold and silver. And truly, we thank you for coming on to the show. We need to bring you back. One thing we need to talk about is the generational wealth in regards to what can happen in regards to owning your own personal precious metals.
Well, do you see that it looks like I'm not here, but I'm here? Am I on a spiritual plane or something on the screen?
We're not going there.
But look,
we're not.
I am here, y'all. I'm here. Look, I am right next to him, but it don't look like it. I think I reached the upper room.
Do you want to reach the upper room right now?
I ain't talking about that room. I'm talking about a level where I can be on top. A little bit. Just not too far.
Can we go back to what we got on the agenda for today?
Well, yeah, I can relate to that. Because I'm almost like Crawford on top of the welterweight division, looking down on everybody. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's not what we talking about. You know what? We're going to get into the show. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that later.
Anyway, we have Fight Week, y'all. Biggest fight, let's go ahead and talk about it. The biggest fight that we had.
I'm going to stop you right there. If you were a true fight fan, there were 2 fights to watch. Just one of them you had to get up super early to watch. And I was very fortunate enough on Tuesday to watch Naoya Inoue beat the snot out of the Philadelphia boy, Stephen Fulton. He beat him so bad. He outboxed him and then knocked him out. That's not fair. You're not supposed to be able to do both. Okay. Unless you're Floyd Mayweather, which he was able to do that at times till he hurt his hands. You're not supposed to be able to box and knock somebody out. Unless you're Gervonta Davis and Floyd Mayweather, then you can do it. You're not able to be able to outbox and knock somebody out unless you're Terrence Crawford, Floyd Mayweather, and Gervonta. Okay, am I done? No, I'm not done. You're not able to. Y'all get what I'm saying? There was 2 big fights last week. Just one happened on a Tuesday because it was in Japan. So therefore, it wasn't. People didn't understand. But Saturday is what we're really talking about.
Saturday night, if y'all don't know what we're talking about, you're living under the rock. We are talking about the Terrence Crawford and Earl
Spence. You got hit so hard you didn't know what his name was no more. He didn't look like Spence. He looked like Steve.
That part. Oh, man.
Why are you doing that, man?
Man. That was a good fight. It depends on
who you was rooting for. But you know what? Mike? I like what you said. It was a good fight. But here's what I'm going to bring a couple things that I've been really looking at after I watched the fight and I went back and looked at a couple things. Here's a couple things. 3rd or 4th round, the doctor interfered and wanted to take a look at Spence, which is kind of weird because his eye wasn't closed. His face was red, but his eye wasn't closed. Kind of weird, huh? Usually because the doctor wants to see you, it's because of what?
The thing about it, I think, and it came out.
No, we're not going to go that far yet. We're not going that
I'm
far.
going there.
No, we're not going because I'm going to build to that.
I'm going
to build to that. Because the whole thing we could see from the very first round, Crawford did what I said he should have done. If he started slow, it was going to go Spence's way. Right? Everybody remember me saying that? If Crawford starts slow, Spence has his fight. Well, I hate to tell y'all, he did not start slow. We started calculated, but not slow. The difference being, he saw how fast he could counter him and to see his reaction. And of course, as we know, the flash knockdown in the second round showed that, he can't handle my speed at all for whatever reason.
That second round knockdown kind of exposed Spence to
Crawford. He overreaches. He's been doing that.
And
for
the
years.
thing about it, and I saw it, Crawford, especially in the fourth and fifth round, Crawford, every time Spence went for a jab, Crawford would step into it.
He stepped over it and hit him quick. And his jab back. And what's great, but here's what I tell people. I listened to what Crawford said and I saw it. He said, we trained to take away his jab. And I knew my flash jab wasn't going to do it. I had to work on a power jab. The flash jab ain't going to do nothing with Spence. Well, you know what? That power jab sent him to see his ancestors. He was on the ancestral plane. He had a talk with Marvin Hagler.
Hey, have you seen the memes?
Bruh,
they compare Earl Spence's face to Martin's face after that damn beating.
With Tommy Hearns.
Yeah.
But here's what I want to tell people.
That shit was funny as fuck.
Yeah, it was funny.
It was funny as fuck.
Here's what I want people to understand.
I want to see the rematch though.
The rematch is going to be dangerous because guess what? I go back to it.
They're going to go to 154 though.
We don't know that.
I think they should go back to.
Well, here's the thing: if he goes to 154, he can't get the belts back. But does he want the belts? That's the problem. I don't think he does because he even said, regardless of the end of this match, I'm going to 154. Spence said that.
Yeah.
Now, what came out as well, which people have been talking more about, once he knocked him down in the seventh round the first time, he was talking shit to Jermell Charlo, saying, "You next. You next. You see what I'm doing to your boy? I'm going to do that to you, but worse." What do you have to say about it? Now, Charlo, of course, is focused on his match in September, one of the biggest fights that we're going to see this year.
Are we going to watch that fight?
I'm going to watch it because I want to see what happens.
Okay. Because the thing about it, I'm not big on Canelo.
It's not about Canelo. I'm big about boxing. Canelo is still, to me, regardless of his loss to Dimitri Bivol, he tried to be great. He tried to be great, but people don't understand. To be great, you got to challenge yourself. Spence challenged himself. He's challenged himself every time. He should. My thing, and I said this in our meeting, he should have taken the match with Keith Thurman to get his timing back. If you hear him his last two matches, even before this one, he said, my timing was off early. In fact, your timing was off early, cost you this match.
Well, you brought it up, and since you brought up Keith Thurman, let me bring this up. Clarissa Shields says she wants to fight Keith Thurman.
And actually, as of about an hour ago, Keith Thurman accepted, and I don't agree with it.
I don't agree with that either. I really don't.
Clarissa's been fighting men, but have they been holding back? That's my whole thing. We know she's been sparring men. Have they been holding back in sparring?
Sparring. Well, here's my thing. I don't think any woman should get in the ring with a man. Period. That's just my personal opinion.
I'm with you, but I'm not with you.
What would be the ideal fight where you would see a woman versus
a woman with headgear on, get in the ring with a man? That's if she's 154, he got to be 122.
Damn.
I'm just being.
Damn.
No, I said 120. I said 122. I thought I said 120. I was thinking 126. Wherever anyway is, you can't be in that division. You can't be from that division. I'm sorry. In a way, no, you cannot. No.
And for those that are tuning in that know our podcast, yes, we're going a little bit off script today. We're trying to knock off sports because of the subjects
we haven't done sports in 4 weeks, almost a month, and it's almost football season.
Yeah,
because the Hall of Fame game is this Thursday.
Tomorrow.
I do want to say tomorrow, but I'm trying to make people think. Today is Wednesday, so tomorrow is that's that day.
Wow, really? That's what we're doing?
Yeah, I'm making them think. I gotta think. You gotta think. We
So
all gotta think of this motherfucker.
going and transitioning it from boxing into basketball. I have a problem with this.
Basketball?
Jaylen Brown.
So we're talking about Jaylen Brown.
We're not talking about basketball.
We're talking about Jaylen Brown.
Not basketball.
But Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen motherfucking Brown.
Whew. All right, Boston folks, don't hate me. He's saying this, not me. So, I mean, I was just with y'all. We were partying and everything, although I'm not a Celtics fan. I'm a Lakers fan. But I'm not bringing it up. He's bringing it up. Let this man have the floor.
This man don't deserve a max contract where he's getting the most paid as an NBA player ever. What is it, 308 or 328?
224, I think.
Over 5 years. So the average is about to $60 million a year, right? For 5 years. $60 million a year. Over 5. Let me say that one more time for the people in the back. $60 million over 5 years. The equivalent of $324 million. Am I the only person that sees a problem with this? I'm like, what did he do to deserve this? Now, I understand athletes, they sacrifice their time.
Don't you try and use my words. Stop right there. Time out. You cannot use my words. You got to use your own stuff.
I'm using your words.
No, you're not.
To make my point.
No, you're not.
To make my point. My point is this.
What he's saying right now, disclaimer, this is everything I said in the meeting.
I get that. I get that. But there's still no reason in hell that you as a fan should be paying $178 a ticket to a sporting event to go see whoever.
That's football. That ain't even basketball.
I'm just throwing numbers. Sports, period. Jaylen Brown kind of pissed me off with his contract because at the end of the day.
So, all right.
Go ahead.
I got you. So I got a question. Who here wants to pay $200 an hour to a therapist? Raise your hands. Hypothetical. If you're raising your hand right now in your own house, something wrong with you. You need to go see a therapist. Okay. Who here would pay $275,000 an hour for a therapist? Just raise your hand. And you're still raising your hand, something wrong with you. All right. So, you're wondering why is he giving these random numbers? All right. Let's look at it like this. With sports, one thing they are known for is giving us our escape that we cannot get in our normal lives. We want to watch athletes, which is where, now we'll come back to this, that the shut up and dribble thing where it came from that one senator was stupid because they have a voice, right? Now, let me get my spiel here. We use basketball, we use sports as an out to celebrate, to get that.
Not just sports, but entertainment in general.
Well, sports is considered entertainment.
That's what I'm saying, entertainment in general.
So we pay these people to entertain us, to give us our break from our normal lives, okay?
Okay.
Now, because of that, that's why they're making so much money. Now, not only that, because of the social sacrifice. I didn't give you that word because I knew you would probably try and use it. The social sacrifice that these athletes are making. They can't go out in society without 2-3 bodyguards, without people hounding them for any number of, on a good side and bad side. They can't do it. They can't do it. Unless you're John Stockton in Spain. Nobody knew who he was. Chris Mullin, nobody knew who he was. They just didn't, because they knew Michael Jordan, Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, the pieces of the NBA that people put out front, right? So looking at that, it goes back to say, what is feasible? Well, people always say teachers need to be paid more. But what about those teachers that don't do what they're supposed to do?
Now we're getting into our topics. I think sports is over.
No, it's still this all ties in.
It all ties in.
It's not about we're getting out of the subject. We're tying it in like we should to what the problem is. right? Am I right or wrong?
Go ahead, because what you're about to talk about, I have my opinion about that too. Go ahead.
So now we sit there, we talk about teachers need to be paid way more than what they're being paid, right? But what about that teacher that just lets the students do whatever the hell they want? They don't care. They're just there to get a check. So you want to give them the same amount of money as a teacher who goes inside their own penny drawer to go above and beyond for the students. They give the student that has a family that's lacking so they don't fall behind. They do the extra and above for that student.
But you do have some teachers out there that do say, well, hey, if I was paid what I was worth, I would actually give a damn about my job. You have some people, not even teachers. You have some citizens that's out there that's working.
People on my job do the same thing. You know what happened to them? They get passed by because they don't do what they're supposed to do.
It happens.
Like it was something I was watching today. And I'm glad you brought that up too, because there's something I saw today that made me. I had my aha moment earlier. I had an aha moment.
An IHOP moment.
Aha.
Aha.
Aha. Aha.
Aha.
I had an aha moment, and my aha moment was when someone said, "When people come to work, they do the bare minimum and expect to get paid more. They expect to get paid to do the same thing as somebody that does above the bare minimum. That's not how life is done. You're out there flipping a burger, and that's all you're doing. As opposed to flipping a burger. The guy next to you is not only flipping burgers, but everybody's killing to work with him. They want to be on his schedule. They don't want to be on your schedule. They want to be on his schedule. But you want to be paid the same thing as him. How is that fair?
I mean, it's how your example, I get what you're saying, but it's happening right now. McDonald's employees, hell, not even McDonald's employees, In-N-Out people.
Everybody. Well, In-N-Out, you can't put In-N-Out's on a different pay scale.
Yeah, In-N-Out's on a different pay scale, but what I'm saying is that to flip burgers, they're making $23 and $17 to $23 an hour.
But you know what? Go to In-N-Out and go to McDonald's. You tell me who's happier.
Neither.
In-N-Out is a lot happier with the take-home money than McDonald's.
When I did service industry, I worked in the food service industry. Part of what you said makes sense, and I do agree with it. The other part is self-motivation within yourself. Because when you especially have to work for tips, you know what I mean? You got to be on your own hustle. You're your own boss. It's up to you to make sure that you turn over your tables in enough time to be able to get what.
Remember, I think
get another table.
We came out of the Pandoramas. We came out of that. The Pandarosa, how service industry, they created, remember that tip your waiter day. Remember that? They came up with that? Tip your waiter more than expected day. They came out with it. If you go back and look it up, the service industry came up with this. They came up with their own day to make sure you tip your waiter extra. First of all, I believe in tipping for the service that you provide. But it's two parts. It's two parts of that, though. It's about the restaurant. It's about the service. How is it about the restaurant? If I walk into that restaurant and I feel like I'm at home, I feel like I'm welcome, you've already earned a partial tip right there.
Certain people don't believe in tipping, period.
I'm going to address that.
Now,
I'm not going to address it right now.
I'm being completely honest. Like I said, I've worked in the service industry. At the end of the day, how they look at it.
You should be paid a livable wage.
Exactly.
I know, but the whole thing is, are you in control of that?
No, I'm not.
So therefore, you saying they need to be paid a livable wage makes no sense to me because they have no control over that. They have to work for the tip, and if you're not providing it, then don't go out and eat. Stay your ass at home and cook.
And we don't mean do DoorDash either, because y'all motherfuckers.
I said cook. COOK. You can go on the Food Network, pick up a recipe, and do it yourself. If you are that cheap and that insignificant to others, cook your own dang on food. Don't go out to eat. Because these people, a lot of them, you can tell they're having bad days, even when they're serving you, but they do their best to try and provide best service to whoever they can, because that's how they have to live, how they have to survive.
Literally. pay bills, rent, mortgage, electricity bill, car note.
And you want to be selfish because they should have a livable wage. So why are you taking that on them if they provide you the most utmost service, probably the best service you've ever had? But you don't want to give them a simple 20% or even 18% because you have a feeling, you're in your feelings about how they're being paid, but you're not helping.
And then there are some jobs which I don't agree with, and a part of me, a small part, can understand why people don't tip. There are certain job industries that you go into where tips are given,
and they split it.
And they split it amongst all the employees. I don't think that's right.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing about
Here's
that.
why I don't think that's right, though. Because just like you just got done talking about individuals that go above and beyond for service, right? All right. There's individuals that do that in their service industry and individuals that don't. But you mean to tell me they're taking home the same amount as what I am? And tips. I'm not talking about
that's common in like Dunkin' and Starbucks and coffee shops because you have to put it in one thing. You put it in one thing and they just dispense it amongst everybody else. That's why it's funny. Like my wife and I, we try to tip cash as much as possible when we're going to a restaurant. Because when we went to a teppanyaki place and we asked, they said, "Oh, the card tips they split amongst the server and
the busboy
and the cook."
Oh, and the cook.
Because the servers use in teppanyaki, the server is the busboy.
Mm.
So they split the server and the cook. That's not fair. So what do? We give the cook cash, even though we know they're going to get part of the tip. We tip the other thing. We give them cash because the cook, they're giving you a whole show 9 times out of 10. They're doing all this above and beyond. They went to culinary school to be able to do the rice, chicken, and shrimp or whatever you're getting, and to put on a show at the same time. But they have to split the tip with the waiter who really just, honestly, at a teppanyaki place, I mean, they give us drinks. They give us our appetizer. They make sure people are seated. Do you really need to be tipped that much? Probably not. You should deserve something. Everybody deserves something. I'm not saying that. Everybody deserves something, but it's not fair to the guy that's really sitting there sweating behind the food right in front of you. And I go back to always saying, who the hell knows what they're going through on a daily basis? We don't know. So the fact that they can take their cash tips, work on that.
Now, you brought up something in regards to the educational system. I want to go back to that.
Yeah, we went way off.
Yeah, I want to go back to that. And our viewers that are tuning in, listening right now, wonder if you guys agree with me on this right now. Now, we're just talking about the educational system. Now, I agree with you. Before I ask this question, let me just preface my question with this. We all can agree that the whole system needs to be reformed, whether it's the judicial system, the educational system,
well, no, that's two different
reform system.
So we got to figure out, well, let's focus on the education system. We'll build from there.
But from the educational system alone, how many of y'all think the educational system is a big-ass Ponzi scheme? Tune in. Tune into the chats.
Explain that, because you just put that out there, but with no explanation. So what do you mean by Ponzi scheme?
Okay, so at the end of the day, I've seen comparisons in regards to the educational system versus our institutional system and how they're similar, right? I've seen...
Well, out here, because everything's behind the fence.
Correct. Buses, lunches, things of that nature. So my question to you is our educational system a way of brainwashing us into to be a systematic person, not to think of ourselves, but go along with the institutional programming? Make sense? Because at the end of the day, one of two things are going to happen. You're going to either be programmed to be a working class citizen, or you're going to be programmed to be an incarcerated citizen.
There's more than two options. There's more than two options. You can't say that. You can't say there's two options. So how many people come out of the system and they become professional athletes, doctors, lawyers, successful,
still working class citizens? paying their taxes, right?
Well, everybody's in some way, shape, or form pay for their taxes. But you just said two options: either institutionalized or what?
Working.
But if you become, oh, I'm sorry, self-made. I forgot the self-made people too. Yeah, at some point they still work for somebody, but guess what? They're self-made now. They don't work for anybody. So you can't blame the educational system for that. What you can blame the educational system for is how they have decided to let private overtake public and not put as much money into public as they do private. That's where the institutionalized part comes from.
Well, do you think that's a part of the reason? And that leads me into another subject about the educational system in regards to programming. They only teach certain things. They don't teach it all. We got a comment here?
Mike!
Yes.
And I just seen a video of a father reading a book talking about clitorises being wet and white discharge is a book that the Israeli system is implementing the curriculum. What the hell?
What school is this at?
I need to go back to school.
And I've been actually hearing stories about this.
But I need to go back to school.
That's you. Like, at the end of the day, look, sex.
How the hell, what video are they going to show?
Sex education has taken a form of its own, especially with the LGBTQ community and all that other stuff.
Mike,
send the video.
Wait.
Send the video. Send the video. No, let me finish my statement. But at the end of the day, look, there's been videos about this. An elementary school. This is sad. Because at the end of the day, I've seen other videos where parents have gone to parent-teacher conference, not parent-teacher, PTA meetings, and school board meetings. And they talk about certain books that's being read in kindergarten, bro. In kindergarten. Now, I don't know about you, but granted, my kids are of age now. But if they wasn't, I wouldn't want my 5-year-old in kindergarten.
I'm glad you mentioned that. So you know what? Here's what I wish my relatives that were teachers were. I should have told them chime in. We were going to go here. I should have had them chime in. But what you have to understand is when the curriculum comes out and the teachers vote on this curriculum. Before, it's not like they just give them the curriculum and say, you have to do this. No, it's certain senior teachers that are part of the board that vote for this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore it was approved. So now where am I going with this? Honestly, the only thing I'm trying to say is when they bring it to the PTA meetings or whatever is the meetings, the board meetings for the parents to see, that at that point in time, that's when you stand up. All right? Because that lets them know, A, this is okay. B, this is not okay. C, I don't care. Can I be in the class? Those are the options right there. Now,
indoctrination. That's exactly what it is.
Now,
that's exactly what it is. They're trying to.
Here's the thing. They've taken the innocence of our children because we have not fought enough for the innocence of our children.
Now, Mike says that's only in some schools. In other school districts, the board does implement a curriculum and no one has to vote on it. Pendergrass School District does that.
Now, again,
Pendergrass does that. I know for a fact.
The whole thing is it still has to come in the classroom and there's a waiver. I remember for sex education, I had it. So I know it's still being done. A waiver I have to take to my parents saying exactly what's going on in sex education for them to approve it and let me be in that class.
But in some cases, they're not even having sex education. This is taught in their everyday curriculum.
Either way, before they do this, there's been many, and I know this for a fact right now, elementary schools right now, there's been a lot of stuff that's not been controversial that they send a permission slip home with my son. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with this. They literally tell you what the movie is, where you can look it up, and what it's about to see if you're okay with it. And if not, guess what? Your child doesn't have to watch that movie. Your child.
They did that with me when I was in high school when we were about to watch Fahrenheit 411.
I remember that. Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
They sent a permission slip home talking about this might, because of the burning of the books and all this other stuff, that controversy. They sent the permission slip home for that.
I'm gonna take you back to when I was in school. When I was in school, see the shirt I'm wearing? It's funny that we're actually matching it, but it's not planned, so y'all know. Malcolm X. When I was in school, and I wish some of my schoolmates would chime in, I did not watch the movie. I refused to watch it because of my Christian beliefs at that age. And I asked my mother, is she okay with me not watching? I asked my father if he was okay with me not watching it. He was a little rebuttal, but when I explained to him why I didn't want to watch it, he was like, I can't disagree with you. If you don't want to watch it, that's on you.
Did you eventually watch the movie?
I watched it when I got older, so I would understand it more.
Do you have a newfound understanding of that movie then if you were to watch it?
The movie didn't do exactly any justice. Now, mind you, the movie was, all right, let me put it this way. The Malcolm X movie with Denzel Washington was a great movie. It was great, but it was so many facts gotten wrong. And I'm glad I didn't watch it till I got older. There were so many facts in that movie that were wrong. But this is not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about where does the power lie, right? We're talking about where the power lies. The school districts that do this, the boards that do this, guess what? You have a chance to vote for the school board. If you do not agree with something for that school board, it's on the ballot. That's something that we have not grown to understand until we have gotten older. We didn't know this, right? And everybody can sit there and say, we didn't know we could vote for the school board. Yes, we can. Yes, we have a voice. It's up to us to use our voice, which goes into our kind of tied subject with voting in term limits or age limits or whatever. Because there's people in the school board, there's people in the House of Rep and the Senate. I mean, they've been alive. They were probably in the crowd of the Last Supper when Jesus was there. And they need to go because they can't even stand up, Mitch McConnell. Oh, ain't nothing wrong with me. Devil is a liar. Something wrong with you. You can't even stand up. You're walking over everything. You're stumbling over your words. You look like you're having a stroke. Come on, bro.
You going to hell and I'm not going with you.
Oh, we all going.
Oh, man.
We on the
I'm
same
not
bus.
going with you. That was hilarious.
I'm driving.
Oh, man. I'm not. So, due to time constraints, there's a subject that I want to get into that is going to tie into another subject.
But we can't just leave that there and then just go to something else.
Tie it off then. Tie it off.
You ain't tie it off. We have to still understand that I don't agree with term limits. I don't, because there's some people that are 65, right?
That need to get out of office.
And
he disagrees with me on that one, but
I know. I didn't say I disagreed. I said there's a lot of 65-year-olds, though, in office that are better shape and more aware than 20, 22-year-olds, 25-year-olds that are in office.
Get them out. 65, you're there.
Now, here's my proposal was, if you're 65, guess what? Thank you for being there. Let's have you do, instead of your one annual physical, at least 2, maybe 3 a year, because we need to make sure that you're in the best of health when it comes to voting for something. We also need to make sure that the same views that you had in 1945 ain't this, or that's actually a little excessive. We'll say 1965 don't equal the same views that you have today. A lot of them don't. A lot of them were reserved. But as well, you got to understand, where are they getting their money from? We need to get lifetime politicians out and get more business owners in, because they understand what's going on. They feel what's going on. They see what's going on. And most important, they feel, they see, and they know.
Do you think a businessman can play politics?
Businessmen play politics all the time. That's what you're not going to understand. They play politics, just not on the level that they need to when they get in office.
Can they?
We had one in there that was doing pretty good till y'all decided, oh, he's racist, and he's not. Oh, he's all for himself, and then coming to find out, actually, he wasn't all for himself, because the guy in this office right now can't even stay up. Mike! I didn't wear my hat. You in my head, man.
there's something else that I want to mention with that too.
See, here actually,
there was a video that I was watching where they were talking about politicians, right? And they were saying that at the end of the day, if you got somebody in your district that's not speaking for the masses of the people, he doesn't need to be paid. There's something like, I don't know if he was talking about not so much ambassadors or congressmen or anything like that, but councilmen, aldermen. The aldermen. That's what I was looking for.
So what that means is there are a lot of people that they run on the notion of I'm going to push this to get in police reform. Yeah, I'm all for it. Then they get in office
and they don't do nothing.
Ain't no police reform. It's now about
Guns and Roses.
Yeah, something that don't even make any sense. You know what? That sidewalk is not at regulation. It needs to go 2 inches to the left because my grandmother fell off that side. Wait, we voted you because you said police reform, but now you're worried about a sidewalk? Come on, man. We need to pay attention.
We need to pay attention to a lot of stuff that's going on. Educational system.
Actually, no, we don't need to. No, actually, I take that back.
Political.
No, we don't need to pay attention. We're listening. We need to wake the hell up and action. We don't need, because we're paying attention. We need to wake the hell up in action. Because what's happening, so much inaction has happened over the years. Now look where we're at.
Speaking of looking where we're at right now, I want to get your opinion on this new generation on certain things right now. It kind of ties into generational entitlement.
Are you? Oh,
and
I thought you were going somewhere else. With,
no, I'm
with
not
the,
going
with
there.
The video.
No, I'm going there. That's tying into generational entitlement as well. Follow where I'm going. So there's a video circulating around. Started out as a TikTok video. Me personally, Pocket and I, we talked about it. He didn't see the video until just recently. And we both can agree that we think that it's a skit. At least we hope.
It's a skit. Skit. It's a very bad skit.
We hope.
It's one of what's that? Tubi. It's a Tubi skit by definition.
Oh shit!
It's on Tubi level. There ain't no way. Ain't that way? That's not Hulu level. It's not Netflix. That's Tubi level. Right
oh shit!
Go tell him about the daggons. Go and tell him about that thing. Go tell him about that thing.
Shit! It's all about the Getting 80 Foundation. Very true. Very true. And we will definitely.
We're gonna come back to that, but this you gotta tell you about this Tubi skit.
So this man and woman, brother and sister.
Brother and sister. You don't want our brother and sister. Brother and sister. Hey.
Really? That what we doing? So anyway, brother and sister are having an argument in regards to their mom just recently passed away. So obviously everybody knows that with the passing, you have a funeral, there's costs to the funeral, so on and so forth. The son refused, and keep in mind, he's the firstborn. Son refused to pay anything. This man said, I ain't even got 50 cents to put down towards it. Now, let me preface it by saying in the argument, he did state.
No, just stick with that. I'll bring the argument. Just stick with it. Let them know the story. So that
you always want to be the argumentative type.
No, it's not, because remember, I always bring that opposite value to let them understand. But the whole thing is about it. He didn't want to put nothing to the funeral. Actually, let me take that back. He didn't put anything to the funeral with his sister, okay? And she's sitting there talking about, this is mama, this, that, and the other. Well, he brought up some points that makes you think, well, maybe he shouldn't. Apparently, when he was younger, his mother told him, oh, you're going to fight these boys who are older than him. And he got his arm broken. She didn't take him to the hospital. So he had to deal with a broken arm. So if y'all ever had anything broken, you know, after the adrenaline wears off, it's pain.
He also said that she wasn't there for him
when he needed her.
So the inclination is they didn't have the best relationship. Now, my thoughts is this.
And wait, we forgot about this. And the key thing that he said, his sister brought up, like, look at all your women, all of your women, not your woman, not your wife, all of your women. All of them have the best of everything, and they have all this, that, and the other because of you. And he says, yeah, but because of the way I was treated when I was younger, that's the way I am now. And he still didn't put anything on the feet.
Now, me and Pocket, we talked about this during our meeting. And for me, I'm a little bit different, and I guess it's just the way that I was raised. You don't have to have the best relationship. But
I'm gonna stop you right there.
Let me finish.
You said the way you were raised. According to this man, he raised himself.
And
so there goes that.
I just cannot see myself not doing anything for my mother, regardless of what she did. To me, that's a sense of closure. That's a sense of a chapter closing and being dead and gone, and I can move on. To me.
To you.
My opinion, yeah.
Your opinion.
Yeah.
What you want to tell?
Well, your opinion would be different. And the thing about it, now you didn't have the same type of relationship he had with his mom, with your mom, right?
Mine was the total opposite.
Exactly. So with the relationship, based off the relationship that you have, I see your point in regards to it determines on what you would do.
Actually, no. Okay, so not the relationship I have. It's the environment of everything that you're in. So listen to this man. He's basically saying the environment he grew up in did not support him doing anything for his mother. He had to do everything for himself. He had to do things that he probably didn't want to do. Do I agree? I see where he's coming from. If you don't have a good relationship with your parents, you're going to feel a certain type of way until you get someone that had a relationship with their parents, a great relationship with their parents, and then you're going to feel a different type of way. What do I mean by that? They always say opposite attract, right? Mm-hmm. And you always have that notion of, man, they say you actually, let me go back a little bit.
Yeah, I'm listening to you and you're confusing the hell out of me a little bit. So go ahead.
They say you're going to, 9 times out of 10, you're going to look for in a partner someone that reminds you
of your mother or your father,
of the great points that you had with that person.
Okay.
They're going to the good points that you had with your mother. Is every relationship sunshine and rainbows?
Would you agree with the saying when it comes down to females that a female would find somebody that's as close to their dad as possible?
Depending on, well, actually, you know what? I take that back. Because the females that don't have good relationships with their dad, 9 times out of 10, look for someone who can be that dad.
Yeah.
The females that have a good relationship with their dad, they compare that person to their dad.
Yeah.
So yeah, in that aspect. Now for fellas,
now for fellas, it's a little bit different because it sounds like an Oedipus problem.
Explain what that means too.
So for those that don't know what an Oedipus problem, that means that you want to be in a relationship with your mother.
And no guy will ever say that. I hope. If so, well.
Mike, I agree with you. You're proving my point right there. Proving my point along right there.
But the thing is, was that your mother?
It's a parent.
No,
it's still a parent.
It's a difference. It is a difference. Because a mother teaches their son sensitivity and things like that. A father teaches you how to be strong and other things like that. So, and if you don't believe it, that's because you probably didn't have it. You got quiet on it.
Because I'm thinking of a rational way of how I could disagree with you without sounding emotional about it. You know what I mean?
Because there's not really a way. Because here's the thing: when I tell people, when it comes to Mother's Day, it's for what?
when you get older, you usually mature and you think differently and look at things from all angles. At least you try to. I agree with you.
Right, but the whole thing is, that's why, Mike, you just sold into why this man did not do anything for his mother. He got older, he matured, he looked back at things that happened in his life and said, because of you, I don't appreciate women. I was trying to let y'all get there to yourselves, but you weren't getting there. Because of you, I don't appreciate women, and I have an issue with women.
So you think?
So he treats them a certain way.
So
because of how his mother treated him.
So let me ask you this then.
Not saying everybody does this, but in this instance,
let's say that
this
he
is
was.
what happened.
Let's say that he was. We don't know. Let's just say that he was involved in a poly relationship. We're hypothetically saying he's involved in a poly relationship. That falls on the mom in regards to the way that he was treated.
Here's the thing: just like with girls with daddy issues, they're looking for a father figure, looking for certain things they were missing when they were growing up, right? So now we make excuses for women. But now we're giving every reason on why a man should do the opposite of what a woman does when they cut off their family. Why?
I had a very rough childhood with both parents, but I made sure I was there for both of them every time. Everything with their cancers was the first one for everything.
Well, I kind of what the wife, my way or the way I am now, and I chose the way now despite how many relationships I was at, where I could have been, what I could have been. Mike, go sit in the corner. Go in the corner and you sit there.
He has some points though. Like you can't disagree with that.
Don't be trying to slide. Mike, go in the corner and you stay there until I say the magic word.
What's the magic word?
I'm not telling you the magic word because you're going to say it.
No,
you don't know what the magic word is.
Bears?
Well, why would you even go there?
He's out the corner.
No, go back in the corner. Now it's got to be two magic words.
The Bears.
Not wrong the.
Oh.
No, the way you brought up, where you brought up. So,
thank you, Mike.
Now,
thank you.
The way you were brought up actually molded you to the way you are now.
But there's still no excuse on why you can't take care of the ending days of your parents. What does the Bible say?
Honor thy mother and father, so your days may be long against this earth. But if your mother and father did not respect you to honor them, what do?
Still gotta honor them. At least.
Do you?
At least in the church that I grew up in, that's what they taught.
Do you?
Yeah.
I can go down a list of a bunch of people that live very great lives without doing what you're. Oh, we got what you're saying, Mike. You make the choice. Well, I get exactly what you're saying. You make the choice. But at the same time, guess what? At some point in time, something was instilled into you to let you know that you have a choice.
Do you think that some choices are taken away from you? You don't think
Nope.
so? You don't think that some choices are just taken away from you?
Who takes those choices away? It's a God-given choice. So who takes it away? God? Is that what you're saying?
In some cases.
So God took your choice away.
In some cases.
So God took your choice away.
In some cases.
Then if you believe that something is definitely wrong with you, you need to go sit there and take a look at your Bibles, both the New Testament, Old Testament, actually in the lost books, and tell me where God took choices away. Because that's not what he does.
Thank you, Mike.
Not really. And I'm glad you said that. I don't want to put people on blast, but there are people in my mother's church that didn't. And guess what? They're doing pretty good for themselves.
On this plane, but we don't know what the next plane has for us.
But the whole thing is, this plane sets you up for the next plane. Is a reason why. Now, I will say this, though. Those same people came under my mother, who was as has been said by me, and I can have other people for witness, very motherly, and she took them under her wing, and she showed them the right things to do. But they still didn't do for the parents. See, what you're saying is you have a choice. It's
but you still got to honor your parents.
Right there. So if your parents allow, actually, you know what? Let's keep that there. You say you got to honor your parents. We're gonna leave that all out there, and I'm gonna give you a scenario anytime you still honor your parents.
Mm-hmm.
Your mother allows you to get molested by her new boyfriend. Allows that to happen, and knows it's happening and does not think anything about it. So you still honor her?
Yes.
Then something's wrong with you. There's something wrong with you. At
Like
that
I
point,
said, for me, to me, when you are
so basically what you're saying
mother,
is,
you're
basically
letting
no,
go.
no,
You're
letting go when you
Let
say
me finish.
you're letting go, because here's the thing: there's people in this situation right now that you're telling them because of the trauma I'm going through, I have to see a therapist every day. Every day, I need to forgive and forget. There's no forgetting that because you're reliving it every day. You're telling them I need to bury.
No, I'm not saying that. What I said
you just said they have to bury. You said they had to bury.
What I'm saying specifically, if that's a sense of closure for you to where you can release, let go, not forget, but be able to forgive, then do it.
A lot of them have already forgiven. They don't need to go the extra mile to bury.
Then that's on them.
No, that's not on them.
That's on them.
Because
Everybody is different though. So
I just gave. It's not about everybody. It's about the scenario I just gave, and you're not addressing it.
The scenario that you gave, yes. If that happened to me, I would still bury my mother as a form of forgiveness to me. It's a closure to me, not for everybody else. That's for me.
So you're basically saying, it was okay. It happened. You didn't do it.
Everybody else.
It's okay. I'm going to bury you regardless because it's okay.
Yeah,
you allowed me
to
lose my innocence as a child. It was okay because you had no better. You decided to choose him over me, and right now I'm choosing you because that's the best thing for you. No, that's not how that happens.
To me, I'm sorry. That, like I said, that's for me.
There you go. That's what I was looking for. The admission of it. It's necessary you can't come back from. So know what you do to move forward. You have to. Honestly, what a lot of those people do, and what's great about it, that's why I'm so emotional about it. There's people in my family this happened to. What did they do? They separated themselves from that parent.
Correct.
That allowed it to happen, and they've moved on with their lives. And guess what? The parent ended up passing away. They didn't even show up. And guess they're still living their lives. They forgave them a long time ago.
And like I said, everybody is different. You can't sit back and tell me how I would feel or react in a certain situation when I just told you how I would react and feel in a certain situation. That's me personally. You don't know certain stories that I haven't told you.
In that situation.
You don't know certain stories that I haven't told you, Pocky. Now, we're being real, and there's certain shit that I don't want to bring up on there, but there's certain shit that you don't know about me that I've been through in my life during that certain family members have put me through that I've forgiven them and have moved on from. I haven't forgotten it, but if it was to pass today, I would still show up. I would still be there. That's me personally. That's just me.
And, well, apparently, we got a message. If parent abused you, you will forgive. I can forgive and move on without them. Same thing.
And there are certain people that would
put it this way. You say what you want to say. I know because I'm living it.
You respect your parents even if they don't respect themselves.
I'm not saying not respecting. That's the whole thing y'all are missing. This man made the decision because of how he is today, because of how his mother treated him when he was younger. He despises that. He forgave her. He said that. He forgave her. But at the same time, don't come to me asking me to help you bury somebody that made me the way I am today. That's what he's saying. It's not your job to bury someone. That shouldn't be on you. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it to you like this. You should have life insurance. That should be taking care of that. It shouldn't be on your children to bury you.
Now, that I agree with.
And it doesn't matter who it is. You should not, your debt should not pass on to everyone else.
Correct.
Your debt of life should not pass on to anybody else.
That's why you get trust, you get estate wills, you get life insurance.
So again, I go back and I'm with this man and what he said, because guess what? I believe it and I've seen it and I feel it and I live it. There's things that happen. There's people that have passed on. I'm like, well, that sucks. You're not going to the funeral? Hell no. You're not giving? Hell no. You want to know why? Because I've forgiven them and I refuse to relive it. I refuse to show up there and relive it.
So, but we can agree that certain people will react differently. to certain situations. We can't agree
I'm not,
on that.
I'm not
Yes
saying,
or no? Yes or no? Yes
I'm
or no?
not saying that people won't disagree. That's the whole point of the choice that we have that y'all said we don't have. Because remember, y'all said there's no choice. Remember? We can go rewind this. Y'all said there's no choice. My point is there is a choice. But nobody wants to agree with there's a choice. They want to say there is no choice. You got to do this. Wrong. You're given a choice because that's your God-given choice. Regardless of what God you believe in, what Bible you look at, what Quran you live at, whatever you want to look at, it's in there that you have a choice. It's given to you. Make your choice. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying what's right for me. I'm saying I agree with him. You don't, that's fine. You want to say you live through shit. I'm not asking about that. What the point is, there's a choice. You have your choice, I have mine. Is it right? You can tell me I'm wrong all day. I don't give a damn. Guess what? I'm still living. I'm still here. And I'm living my best life. That person suffered. That's what was supposed to happen. Because guess what? They made me suffer when they let me go through things. That's the point. You want to forgive them? You want to bury them? You want to make yourself broke, put money up for it? Go ahead. I ain't doing it. I've already forgiven you. I've moved on. Don't expect to see me at the funeral. Thank you. If you want to hate me, hate me. If you want to love me, love me. Don't matter to me. Guess what? You're going to live with that ulcer in your stomach. I'm not. That's my point. You want to talk about life? We can talk about life. I'll put my stuff right here, right now. And you'll be shocked at the stuff that's happened. So don't sit here and act like I haven't been through things. I'm talking about things that happens in my family till this day. Till this day, see my family go through stuff all the time that are like this. And a lot of times I'll say, you're not gonna, oh, well, you know what, that's your choice. I got you. Your family, you're my family still, regardless of what happens with them.
So Mike has a comment on here. The respect is that you don't kill them, and you don't turn your back on them.
The whole thing is the respect is not, whole thing is, you have to understand, like I just said, there are people that go through things and they relive them when they see that person. So what is it? Are you doing them harm, or are you doing them good by seeing them and reliving what happened to you? Because guess what's going to happen? That hate you had then, that suffering you had then is going to come out while you're trying to do things for them. So you're helping them by not being in that situation for them.
Now, here's the thing. Somebody once told me that when you are doing the funeral and everything, it's not for the dead. It's for the living. So that way they can say their goodbyes, get off their chest, their last little remorse or whatever. Let me finish.
Keep going.
So
keep going.
So at the end of the day, why not get peace? Boom, right there. That's because you haven't healed. Boom, right there. That's exactly where I was going at. But when you have a funeral, that's your way of getting that last little bit of oomph off your chest. So if you can't do that, how can you properly heal?
So here's my thing. Why did you wait to the funeral?
That is true too. That is true too. I'm not the type of person that's going to wait till you're dead. Unless you're that person that I just can't talk to. And the reason why I can't talk to you is because we can't have a humane conversation between the two of us. That would be the only reason.
So on their deathbed, you couldn't talk to them? Because that's the one time you can talk to them. They're probably not going to say anything back.
Well, I've never had that experience where I talk to somebody on their deathbed. So I can't necessarily, I can't say that part. But at the end of the day, amongst the living, if I got something to say to you, I'm going to say it. Okay, Trulu. I see what you say. It's free will. I get it. But you do have that free will to do either or. That's all I'm saying. There's some people.
Go back to where you said. Go back where you were.
All I'm saying is that there's some people that gets healing from that. From a funeral, from that last, divorces. I hate to use that as an example, but
why you burst my bubble like that? I was going there. You knew I was going there. That's what that was.
Oh shit!
You knew I was going there.
Oh,
is that what that was? You knew exactly. Where I was going.
God! Oh shit!
He knew I was going. That's why he brought it up. That's why I'm just looking at y'all. I'm like, okay, y'all haven't healed and this, that, and other. So I'm going to start with that because you haven't healed. Healing can't happen alone. I'll say it again. Healing cannot happen alone. You need help to heal. Because a lot of times, and I'm coming from a male perspective, remember, we're talking, people forgot all of subject. We're talking about men here. Because, and I'll say that to say this. What are men taught? Hold your feelings in. You're not allowed to cry. You're not allowed to show emotion. You're not allowed to do this, that, and other. You got to be the head, not the tail. You can't be doing this. You can't be doing that. Well, what the hell can we do? Right? What the hell can we do? You're told not to cry in front of your kids. Well, if something emotional happens, what the hell am I supposed to do? Go in the bathroom? We're laughing, but you know it's serious, right? When it comes to healing, you need help to heal. The two, help to H2H, help to heal.
Is that what we're doing?
H2O, help to open.
Ooh, help to open. Anyway, folks,
H2F, help to open. Oh, H2OF, help to open your feelings.
And folks are.
I know we got a late I can't even talk.
Yeah, you can't even talk.
We got a late start today. We got a late start.
We had some technical difficulties, but we got the show done. Thank you guys for tuning in. We wanted to save this controversial story for last. I'm glad that we did, because there's some exposure to this. We're gonna bring this back. I think there's a lot more that comes with the stories like this. We definitely need to bring this back. But thank you for tuning in with us. Thank you for rocking with us. Thank you for hitting them like buttons.
Help. That's the word of the day. We haven't done it in a while. Help. And if you don't want to know, we haven't done that in a while. Help. Yeah. No, we haven't done a word of the day.
Oh, no, you didn't say that.
Yes, that was the first thing I said.
You said help.
I said we haven't done that word of the day in a while. Help. Help. That's what it is. You need help to heal. But we haven't done a donkey in a while because ain't nobody surpassed him. I mean, come on. Ain't nobody surpassed old boy from Florida. We haven't done it in a while because, I mean, unless y'all got somebody somewhere that can surpass this mother trucker from Florida, it ain't going to happen this year. Oh, we got to send that man
thank you for tuning in, y'all. We'll catch you next week.
We'll send him an invite.
I can't stand this dude sometimes. I swear I can't. But
we love y'all. We appreciate y'all.
Tune in next week for another series.
No. We will not have it.
Oh, next week we're off next week.
I know y'all saying, what's going on? It's the summer, y'all. We got things. We got lives too. But we gonna
Mike, I love you like a brother, man.
That's the wrong heel. That's definitely the wrong heel.
I love you like a brother, man. I do. I really do. We can't end the show like that. I refuse to end the show like that. I goddamn refuse to end the show like that. We're not going to
stop using voice to text. Stop it. It just messed it up. I was trying to go out serious, y'all.
No, we're not gonna end the show like that. We're not on my brother. Not on my brother like that. We're not going to end the show like that. I refuse to end the show like that.
All right.
Get it right, Pocket. Get it right. God damn it. Until next week, folks, I will see you. Call in, bro. Just call in. Please, call in.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Until next week, folks, you guys have a good one. We will see.
Oh, my goodness.